Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You gotta click the little bell icon for notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday. Guys, I think you have to click the bell icon twice for all notifications. That way you know when I go live. Boys and girls, children of all ages, CBG proudly presents to you the most boring crypto market he has ever been a part of. Dear God, is it hard to create content when the market is as stagnant as this? Looks like maybe Bitcoin wants to start making a push up. But I got to tell you guys, as healthy as things look right now, unless if there's some sort of explosive price action, this is a challenge right now to come out with something that is interesting and keeps your interest and keeps you engaged. So I hope everybody is enjoying the start of their week. Today is Monday. If you appreciate the movie Office Space, I hope nobody here has a case of the moon days. Hope nobody has a case of the moon days. Let's see who we have in the house. Ned, glad to see you, my friend. You're more excited than 99% of the participants in the crypto market right now, Ned, about this live stream, but I do appreciate it. Black Oil is in the house. Welcome in. Did anybody have any fun plans this weekend? I really didn't have anything going on. Be honest, I don't have anything exciting to share. Nothing super exciting over here. By the way, for all of my H-Barbarians that are in the house, I do have a video that is set to release later today. Technically, tomorrow it'll be tonight at midnight. So make sure that you check that video out. Upcoming projects that I'm going to delve a little bit deeper into include XDC, XLM, Solana, and Ethereum. So keep an eye out for that. DT, glad to see you here. Coffee is in hand. That is a critical component of any morning, in my opinion. Thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. Let's assess price action. I almost actually live streamed last night and thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I'll do a Sunday night live stream instead of Monday. Just to cover the weekly closes, but there wasn't really anything exciting going on. So I decided to ixnay on that and wait until Monday, hoping that there would be something exciting going on. So we're going to start off here with the 12-hour very quickly. Kevin, let's fucking go. Rick G, good evening from the Netherlands. Very, very nice. What other countries do we have representative within the live stream? I would love to know the answer to that question. Guys, the only thing we can do on this 12-hour chart is just extend out this consolidation rectangle. This used to be a small box. Track, what's up, man? Good to see you. This used to be a small box. This thing has been increasing in value, right? So, couple things to point out on this 12-hour chart. For those who aren't familiar, there is a reason that we take a look at this 12-hour chart. It holds a lot of historical significance. I may consider, I was thinking about this, I may consider putting out a, Toronto, Canada, nice. I may consider putting out a new video that kind of goes over the historical significance that has played out in this 12-hour chart because no one really talks about it and the point we are at, New York City. The real question is, are you a New York Giants fan? Because if you are, I mean, you can stay on the channel, Curtis. But my friend, I bleed green. So, but glad to have you in the house. So, anyway, we are consolidating in this orange region. This is the region I've identified as the most likely area that once we lost our 50 simple moving average on the 12-hour, we would consolidate between. Guys, this is exactly what's playing out, okay? Now, what's interesting, and it looks like it's 29,600 and 28,200, right? Now, what's interesting is I want you to get off the price indicators for a moment. Yes, the MACD is picking up. Actually, if you go on some smaller time frames, lower time frames, you will see there is some bullish divergence on the RSI. Yes, we are battling this downward area of resistance on the RSI. In previous times when we've broken out from the downward resistance, we have seen some nice moves up. But I want you to focus on something else here because price is king, okay? I'm going to remove the orange box for a moment. Look what's happening here. Do you understand what is taking place here? You're a Jets fan. Okay, you're safe, Curtis. You're safe, Curtis. Curtis Martin. Curtis, that's the first thing I thought of when I thought of Jets. Curtis Martin. Here's the other story that is taking place with price, okay? We're right in between the 50 and 200 simple moving average. Now, it's very important to keep this in mind for two reasons. One is because we've moved below the 50 simple moving average, you can see at several different points we have attempted to push our way back above and we've been unable to. So this is acting as an area of resistance, but look at this. The 50 is continuing to decline, right? And the 200 is sort of like flatlining, steadily sort of increasing in level. Well, the 200 should act as support, right? Because we're above it. Appreciate the love, guys. Thumbs up. Appreciate for everybody new tuning in. So what's happening is because we're between these two moving averages and the 50 is beginning to slant down, price is going to get compressed in here, okay? It's not going to, it is becoming increasingly likely that we're either going to see a push up, which is what I believe will occur, or a push down. It is one or the two, but this really is turning into a pressure cooker beyond all of the other Bollinger Band views that we've shared on this channel, that we've spoken to, the low levels of volatility, the historic low levels of volatility. Now we see on the 12-hour chart here, which is just a day cut in half, price is becoming compressed in between these two moving averages. Something's got to give, guys. Something has to give. Real quick view that I want to turn your attention to. This, I want to actually get to a different chart. This is the 1 day. Now, keep in mind, anytime we have broken, probably another good area here to pinpoint would be this. Anytime we have broken downward resistance, you can see we saw a spike up in price. Now, we do have this upward increasing trend line that we have on the daily. This is on the daily here. It's not imperative that we keep the trend line in this case, but the more that we can hold that, the more general strength that is being expressed in the price. The main thing to keep in mind on a daily chart, if that's the view that you're looking at, really we want to make sure to keep this 200 simple moving average. I really don't want to move below 27,000. But let's see if there's anything on the price indicators. MACD's getting closer and closer. If we can form a hammer candlestick here, which is the sign of a trend reversal, okay, a nice medium-sized green body with a long wick like this, we got some volume coming in, we could see a MACD, as long as bullish momentum continues, on the daily, we could actually see a positive cross on the daily, and some of this downward resistance on the RSI might get negated. Keep an eye out on the daily chart, guys. Keep a close eye on the daily and look at the MACD in particular. If we can continue to get some bullish momentum to the upside here and start pressing up against this 50 simple moving average at 29,900, we're going to very likely get a bullish confirmation on the MACD. But the main Bitcoin chart that I wanted to take a look at with you guys today is actually on the weekly. Now, this is a monumental turn of events. This is something that we have covered pretty routinely on this channel, actually, if you've been tuning in. DT, my friend, I know you're from the Philippines. I love to see everybody from all sorts of different walks of life here, all different countries. I think it's awesome. Now, this is the Gaussian channel, okay? And we don't need to go into great lengths in terms of what the Gaussian channel represents. The main thing is to understand symbolically what it represents on the chart and how price likes to interact with these green and red areas. And what does it mean when we're green and what does it mean when we're red? That's really the important thing to take away from this chart. Again, this is one of these charts where I feel like you could put a kindergartner in front of this chart and they could give you some key takeaways, okay? But we've evaluated this Gaussian channel on several different time frames. And one of the things I've been pointing out on the live stream is on some of the smaller time frames, you know, we evaluated in particular the 3-day, the 4-day, the 5-day, even the 6-day, and we saw the Gaussian flash from red to green. We were waiting for this, guys. We've spoken to this, okay? We were waiting for the Gaussian channel to turn green. So let's take a moment to have a conversation regarding what I am anticipating now that we have flashed green, okay? I was considering making a separate video just based on this, but figured we could just cover it on today's live stream. So, in times past, okay, if we go back in time, one we have flashed. Now, this is back in 2016, okay? Follow me very closely here and make sure that you don't have any questions. If so, drop them in the live stream. Very important that I articulate myself well and you follow what I'm saying here. Again, this was a video that I originally was going to release, but what the hell, we'll do a live stream. When we changed from red to green here, what did we do in 2016 going into 2017? Evaluate price action and its interaction with the green zone, Gaussian channel. You notice how it stays above it, right? Now, this is a weekly again. Once we started to touch here, it was kind of a warning signal. But once we entered it, that's when things got really interesting. Callow, welcome in, my friend. Thumbs up for everyone new if you hide the comments. So the key takeaway here is that we stayed above the green Gaussian channel. And once we entered it, it spelled bad things. It spelled bearish price action, right? We lost our median line here. We eventually recaptured this median dark green line here, but eventually faded and fell well below the Gaussian, and we turned red. I was here for all of this price action, okay? I was here for all of this price action, okay? So we were red for an extensive period of time going into 2019. Now we flashed green here. What happened? As soon as we flashed green, we were already all the way up here in price action. You can see on the chart here, by the time that the Gaussian channel had flashed green, we were already 36.5% above the top of the channel, okay, which is not the case today. And you can see that once we re-entered it, this spelled disaster for us, okay? Say what you want that this was a black swan event with the beer virus, and I'm not going to disagree with you. Although we have had conversations on this channel about the repo market in September 2019, clearly insiders knew something about this beer virus, something that was going to go on. But a separate conversation, something we spoke about earlier on another live stream. Regardless, you can see that once we re-entered the green channel, okay, not a good thing, because you can see that we had a massive, massive drop in price. We exited the green Gaussian channel here, and then eventually reclaimed it. And once we reclaimed it, we did touch the bottom here, but we never re-entered it. Now, this is a key pivotal point. You can see here that there's no candle bodies that actually closed within this green zone. Yes, we wicked into here. We wicked a little bit below here, right? A little bit, about 5% below here. But the key point is that expresses volatility. The bodies never got in this Gaussian channel, right? When the bodies got in the Gaussian channel here, oof, bad sign, right? When the candle bodies when they closed in here, oof, bad sign, right? Flash forward, you can see once we had another, should have paid more attention to this in times past. Once we had a candle body, actually here, let me see this. No, we avoided it. Let me see. Now, this right on the line here, right on the line, and we actually opened in here and then closed above. So no, nothing to be concerned about here. We're just riding the line here. We did not close in the Gaussian channel. Here, after we got our 69,000 double top and we started entering this expanded flat correction, okay, this is the B wave. You can see, yes, this is fine. We wicked. Once we started getting candle bodies closing in this area, this was a warning flag, okay? Something I should have paid more attention to. And you can see, obviously, I don't mean to rehash what has happened. What's the terminology for that? I'm forgetting. Anyway, you can see that once we had candle bodies close within the Gaussian channel, obviously spelled further downside, right? So now that we have flipped green, okay, we've gone through the history of what happens, first off, when we turn from red to green, and then what sort of price action is indicative of when a Gaussian channel turns green. Well, we can wick into the green, and that's fine, and that tells us that more than likely price action will continue to the upside. If we start to get candle body closes that go into the green of the Gaussian channel, the odds are not in our favor for price to continue moving up. There will be some sort of a significant correction, right? The line in the sand is what I had tweeted out. The line in the sand is 28,300 as it stands right now. I don't care one bit if price wicks all the way down to 27,900, 27,500, whatever. Okay, well, I'm not anticipating that. It certainly is a possibility. The main thing is on a candle body closing basis on a weekly candle, okay, when those things close out Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you do not want the candle of the body to close below 28,300. I believe right now, guys, if you don't chart, okay, if you're not a chartist, one of the price levels for Bitcoin that you want to keep in mind is 28,300. And keep in mind, it doesn't matter if on Wednesday we go below 28,300. That's not what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if any day this week we close below 28,300. That's not what I'm talking about. Weekly, right? Every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when a new weekly candle prints, okay, you better make sure that that thing is at or above 28,300. Because if we get a candle body close that goes in below there at 28,200, based on history, what we just looked at, every single time that has happened, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, we're 4 for 4 in history, okay? And again, Bitcoin has limited price data, so there's only so many inferences you can make off of it. But I don't like the odds when I look at the sample. I realize the sample size is small, but when you're telling me the sample size is 4, it's based upon a roughly 12-year price history. Sample size is 4, and all 4 times we have lighting on the camera is terrible. And all 4 times we have seen price action respond bearish, and have a significant correction once a candle body close goes in the Gaussian channel. I don't like that. I don't like the odds, right? So let's just make sure to watch the $28,300 level. Kevin, 28,300 also lines up with the weekly ascending trend line. We would not want to break either. All right, well, let's take a look at that. Let's see if Kevin is correct in that assertion. And again, I appreciate the interaction here. If you guys have things you want to chime in and add, if I've missed something you think is important, if you have a question based on something that I am explaining, this is, as much as I'm coming on here and I'm trying to share with you what I see in the charts, I really do view this as a dialogue, right? You as my audience have, in times past and countless times, have added value to the channel, okay? So if there's something that you want to add to anything that I am speaking to, feel free. Now, this is the first descending line, Kevin, okay? So 28,300 wouldn't be valid. But maybe what you're speaking to is here. Because there's a couple ascending trend lines, Kevin, right? It just depends where you want to draw. For me, personally, this trend line right here, this is a little bit more aggressive, this trend line here, because you're starting the trend line here. You're not starting it from the bottom. This is a little bit more of the one at the bottom is a little bit more liberal, okay? So from this, the main trend line, I would be concerned as an investor, okay, even if I'm completely wrong and the wave 5 never pans out, even though the entire structure of the Elliott wave is completely valid, everything looks very clean, okay, in terms of how the Elliott wave structure is presenting itself, and we're waiting for that wave 5 impulse. What's up, Josh? Welcome in. If I am incorrect, right, and things are just going to take a lot longer than anticipated, and really these 4-year maxis, cycle maxis are correct, really for me, I wouldn't want to lose this trend line here. Now this would, depending where we could drop to roughly 25,000. And again, even if that happened, what I would focus on is the fact that we have a low here, a higher low here, and still a higher low here. Even if it would take this one out, this low here is still higher than this and this. I mean, if we really want to get technical here, or not even technical and not talk about ascending lines, really, I wouldn't want to take out this low at 19,000, we're going to call it 600, right? So we could even come down, Bitcoin could even come all the way down to like 20 or 21,000, could come all the way down here. And still, this low is higher than this low and this low. So we still have higher lows, even though that would not be what I would be expecting at all one bit. It still would be bullish in terms of a higher time frame view on creating the higher highs and higher lows. Now, quickly taking a look at price indicators, kind of wishy-washy back and forth. Yeah, market's just going sideways. I think things are taking a little bit longer to develop in price action than I was anticipating. I was expecting July to be a more bullish month. So again, this is why I'm starting to lean a little bit more towards Bitcoin not having a blow off top until the early part of next year, and where I'm starting to get a little bit more reserved and cautious about us having a blow off top this year, just realistically, because I wanted to see a little bit more power behind the move in July. What else can we take a look at here? What else is really moving? Nice to see DigiByte up a bit. Yeah, you know what? Let's hit on, is there anybody from the XRP community here? I had tweeted out, I was pretty busy today. I didn't really have time to be on Twitter, but I want you to read what I tweeted here, okay? I think a lot of what has taken place in the XRP community over the past couple years, I think there are a lot of content creators out there. It's not just with XRP, but I think it's run rampant in XRP quite a bit. But I feel there are a lot of content creators that prey on the emotions of the fan base for XRP, the XRP community. And a lot of people, I think at times, content creators, I think there are certain content creators out there that will literally, if they need engagement, they don't know what else to put out there, they'll put out an XRP video. They will put unrealistic price targets out there, constantly pointing to fractals, speaking to unrealistic price targets. And I think that there's just been so much hype around the project that I think when there's a sensical, logical video or content that is put out there, I think people just don't want to hear it or dismiss it because it runs contrary to the popular emotional clickbait belief. But if you take a look at, if you watch the video, which I would encourage you to do if you haven't, my most recent XRP video, it literally has done exactly what I said it would do. There is nothing. So right now, I spoke about a potential bull flag, which is actually might be a little harder to draw now. Maybe on a 2-week time frame? No, it's probably harder to draw, so we might not have a bull flag. Well, you can still have it. Sort of. But regardless, what I spoke to for XRP was not buying. I never offer financial advice on the channel, but I said, hey guys, it's not smart to be buying this thing up at 80 and 70 cents. Let's wait for a pullback. My sweet spot is right in that, I think, like around 54 or 58 cents, whatever I said. And today, I think we actually pulled down to 58. Let's take a look at the 3-day. Yeah, look what we've done, right? It's like, and I spoke to the fact that the price indicators were showing we were overheated. We've done exactly, again, look, and this isn't to tout myself as being some, an expert TA person who gets 99% of his calls correct. No, absolutely not. You guys know. You've been following me long enough. I've had some bad calls. I've gotten things wrong. Absolutely. But this one's been spot on. And I said, just be patient, okay? Just be patient. And for me, I signal really in particular 54 to 58 cents. This consolidation doesn't mean that the chart isn't bullish or it isn't healthy, right? There's a lot going on that we've spoken about in the XRP chart. We already covered this last week. We're not going to rehash it, especially on the weekly. That is bullish. But you don't buy into a green candle like this. Like, you don't buy up here. It's one of the most dumbest things that you can do. And that isn't taking a shot at anyone. I was here. I used to be this person that didn't know what they were doing. Just learn from it. But we have literally come down exactly as I said we would. We're at 62 cents. We went as low as 59.8. So we went down to 60 cents today. And quite honestly, I still wouldn't be buying it. I would still be patient. I would wait for, not financial advice, I would wait for my 54 to 58 area. And who knows, we could see And again, the other thing you can do on now this is a 3-day. The other thing you can do for a 3-day is you can use your moving averages as a target for price. It's very possible price won't hit 49.5 cents, but it could come down to this 50 simple moving average to 200 simple moving average zone, right around 50 to 52 cents, right? So for me personally, I would not buy until it's in this area. That's just me. And especially where I see prices going. I'm going to put out a video. It's probably going to trigger a lot of people. I'm sure it will. But I'm going to give you my realistic price target for XRP. And just because I don't see it hitting $20 or $30 next year, because I don't see that happening, it doesn't mean that I'm not bullish on the project. It doesn't mean that I don't support Ripple, because I have been a supporter for years, guys. But you have to put the emotions aside and take a realistic look at a project from a TA perspective if you want to really succeed. I think, again, I'll just say this one more time and we're going to get off the chart. And we'll take a look at XLM while we're at it. But, I just think there's a lot of people out there that are being very deceptive with the XRP community. That is honestly how I feel. I feel that there are people that are at least smart enough to know that they can play to the emotions of the community and put out hypey material and get clicks based off of it. And I just refuse to do that. I'm not going to do that with any of my content. It fucking disgusts me to know that people do that stuff. And quite honestly, if people are going to be dumb enough to give that material attention, then so fucking be it. But that's not what I'm doing. So anyway, for XLM, again, I'm bullish on this project, but I would not, I just wouldn't be buying at these price levels. I would wait for a pullback closer to 11.5 cents, anywhere between 10.8 to 11.5 cents. So there really isn't anything, there isn't anything crazy going on with price besides the fact that it's just consolidating. Now we just moved under this moving average. So chances are, where's the 20? Yeah, I would not be surprised on a 3-day chart. I would not be surprised one bit for XLM in a healthy manner to pull back near the 20 simple moving average, which right now it's going to continue moving up, but it's like right in that 11 cent range. So this is why you can't, when there is a headline, and I really wish I would have gotten my XRP video out before the news dropped. What sucks is I planned on doing it the week that the news dropped. And so I wish I would have gotten it out there, because I saw clickbait stuff out there all over the place about, well, when Ripple wins the lawsuit, the price could skyrocket up to $5 or $10 or some like bullshit like that. Like just stuff that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It just bothers me to know that people actually listen to this stuff, and there are content creators out there knowingly putting material out there just so that they can make money off their videos and get views and clicks, and it's just, I don't know, it's repulsive. But anyway, I'm going on a side tangent. All right, Greg, you had a question. Black Oil has a question on Tout. Didn't we just look at that? Greg, don't tell me we just looked at this, my friend. Because if we did, we're going to move on to the next chart. I swear we just looked at this one. Could be wrong. I don't know. We've looked at so many charts together. We've looked at so many charts together, guys. Yeah, we've already looked at this. Well, actually, we haven't looked at this in a while. Okay, so this is one we have evaluated in the past. This is ticker symbol TAO, Tau. I'm going to look at this on a 3-day. I have a lot of areas of price confluence here. And you can see, now at one point when we had charted this, we were obviously above $80 because I have it denoted as a area of support, and now it looks like it's resistance. We're going to look at this on a daily, so let's kind of talk about what's going on here. MACD, now what might be happening with the price here, let's ignore the stochastic RSIs below 20. Let's ignore the RSI. Let's focus on the MACD, okay? Because the MACD is telling us a story here with price. As you can see with price, Greg, okay, we sort of had this waterfall moment where we hit $93 and then we started plummeting in price. But all around this area, what is happening here? Price is attempting to stabilize itself, okay? I don't want you to just be able to understand where price may or may not be going. I mean, one of the things I really want you guys to take from this channel when you tune in is you learn something from it, okay? So the story that's being created on the daily with Tau right now is that because price has continued to stabilize itself with these 5 candlesticks right here, I want you to really zone in on these 5 candlesticks. These candlesticks right here, okay? Price is attempting to stabilize itself. What's happening with the MACD as a result? It's lagging a little bit of a lagging indicator. But what's happening here? Well, what's happening in particular right here, it's trying to flatten out. It's trying to really round out so it can start to curl up. I want to see, Greg, I want to see this $60 area hold on Tau, okay? $60 needs to hold on Tau. Now, you can see the areas of resistance then. We got to get back up above 70, 75, 80, 86, and then 94 bucks, okay? I wouldn't come back, and we spoke about that area of resistance there. So take a look at this. This is a great indication when you're looking at a chart of why TA works, okay? What's up, Kathleen? Look at this wick here. Once we fell below 94, couldn't get above it, right? We came right up to 94. Whoop, okay? Great example of TA working out. So I'm not interested in recharting this, although the falling wedge did work out. Do we have some bullish divergence in there? No, no bullish divergence. If anything, there was a falling wedge on the RSI. Maybe we looked at it. Sort of. Sort of a falling wedge. Not really. Okay, never mind. Okay. Anyway. Greg, let's come back. Let's come back as price starts pushing up towards 94. I'm not interested until we start getting up to 94. Once we start getting up to 94, we can have an interesting conversation regarding where price may go because we're going to be really close to getting a blue sky breakout. DT, I am not familiar with Rio, but I am familiar with Rios from 94 WIP on Sports Radio Talk in Philadelphia. Rios likes violence and he promotes it. I've seen a little bit of chatter about Rio, but I'm not familiar with it. Honestly, I don't know how much time I'll have this week to look into it. I have so many things on my plate. This month is turning out to be a very busy month, but I will keep it in mind. I thank you for pointing it out. If I have time, I'll take a look at it. Rick G, waiting to get a better position on CAS, but it keeps going up. Yeah, we can take a quick look at it. ZCX, Kevin, ZCX. Let's look at CAS super quick, and then we can take a look at ZCX. Let's just focus on looks like this is a 2-day chart. So, I already told you guys, and I'm going to get a video out there that speaks to why, from a fundamental perspective, I'm excited about CASPA. But CASPA, from a technological standpoint, like I said, most excited I have been from a fundamental perspective on any project since Hedera Hashgraph. Okay? Enough said. All right? You know how much I support HBAR. I absolutely believe CASPA has the potential to break into the top 20, just like HBAR does. You know, who knows? You know, you really want to shoot high, say top 10, but I definitely think top 20 is something that's very, very possible. Might have to adjust the lighting on the camera. I look like I look a little orange. I don't know what is going on with this. You can adjust the video. Man, that is really rough looking. There we go. I look a little orange, and I'm not looking orange. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to look a little more normal in a moment. All right, let's apply that. All right, let's see how that looks. All right, maybe I'll be less orange. Okay. Don't want to look like Donald Trump. But anyway, CASPA has been on a tear. And what we'll do is we'll focus on a 2-day chart. So for now, you can see that I just released a TA video in terms of some of the things I'm looking at, 3-day charts, some of the bearish divergence on the RSI. Not bearish divergence, I should say, but yeah, bearish divergence. Actually, it is bearish divergence. But some of the price indicators are spelling that we could run out of steam at some point, but the thing to keep in mind is you can have bullish and bearish divergence for a while and it doesn't doesn't pan out for some time. But the main thing is, guys, we're in price discovery right now. That's the main thing to focus on. I mean, we literally just broke above 4.8 cents. I love to see the strength that's being expressed here. We didn't move up. Keep in mind, a lot of projects, they make some sort of initial top. They come up, they break, they come into a blue sky breakout, and they have some sort of massive fall in price and then continue up. This thing has maintained itself above that 4.8, 4.9 cent area. It looks to me like it just wants to keep pushing higher. It's funny. I was thinking about this Sunday. I left my brother a voice message on Sunday, a couple voice messages, just kind of sharing with him why I was excited about Caspa and he should consider taking a look at it. I told my brother the same thing I tell you guys. I said, look, crypto fear bringer, I'm never going to offer you financial advice. You know that. And I know you're smart enough to do your own due diligence, but do your own due diligence. And I was just sharing why I was excited about it. At that time, I think Caspa was at 3.5 cents. On this past Sunday, it was shooting up past 5 cents. Okay. I think August has the potential to be a very big month for this project, and we could see this thing up towards the market cap of HBAR if HBAR doesn't move around that 34 spot. So again, you got your areas of support here, but now that we're up in this zone, I have targets I expressed in my most recent Caspa video. I would just leave it at that. Let's take a look at ZCX. This is a question coming in from Kevin, longtime supporter. Have we looked at this one before? We have. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Is this all the price data for this? Ah, damn. Not the best looking chart. Let's go to a 3-day. So we have already taken a look at this chart, and it looks like since the last time we looked at it, we've broken down in price. My suspicion is the last time that we evaluated price action, we were up in here. Now, the reason I say that is because I have these two horizontal lines indicated as green areas of support. And you can see now I have to flip them to red. The first natural question is, well, CBG, we lost those areas. Where's our support? Well, we only have... I'm kind of surprised price has held up in that area, because I don't see an area of support until down there. It's really this zone. I'm surprised price held up because we lost this area, and the next logical zone would be all in here. So I'm surprised. Okay, so we're sitting in no man's land right now. Really, we need to start pushing up. We're sitting at 5.5 cents, but we got to start pushing up. I want to get above 6 cents, because if we stay down here, this is the thing I really want you to understand, Kevin. This is the thing I want you to understand. The more we hang out below this level here, okay, on ZCX, ticker symbol ZCX, the more we hang out below this level here, the higher the probability is that we're going to start drifting lower into this zone. So let's start pushing up, okay? Let's get above 6 cents, and then you can obviously see we have a major descending area of resistance that has been in place since October of 2022. So by the time we push up here, we'll have had a 1 year or approximate 1 year area of downward resistance. We need to push up above this zone. Now, there are other areas of resistance we can have a conversation about. Not only do we have that downward area of resistance, there's another obvious area of resistance right there at approximately 8 cents. I see 8 cents as an area of resistance. I also see 7.5. So how about this? Once ZCX starts making its push and it breaks descending resistance, which again, since October 22, long time, right? And it starts breaking 7.5 to 8 cents and it starts getting up in this zone, come back to the channel. Because then we can have a conversation about taking out these lower highs here. Really, the way that you want any chart like this to have bullish confirmation of a turnaround, you've got to start taking out these lower highs. Lower high 1, lower high 2, lower high 3. As we continue to take out these successive lower highs, it's the probability begins to increase with each successive lower high that is taken out that we will continue moving higher, right? When we take this out, we feel pretty good. When we take this one out, we're starting to feel better. As we start to take this one out, we're feeling pretty fucking good because then we start entertaining this price action. So that's what I would look for on this chart. I hope that was helpful. All right, what else we got? I guess we started going into TA Q&A, right? Because, I don't know, I wanted to open it up to that. I'll be honest, my brain's a little dead. A little bit of a busy day here, so... a little bit of a busy day here, so didn't get a lot of time to put thought into the live stream. Anytime to chart LCX. If you cannot today, tomorrow is fine. Yeah, Kathleen, we can chart it today, absolutely. Have we taken a look at this one before? I'm not sure. You're welcome, Vivek. Sounds like, guys, who here is into ZCX? Sounds like there might be a few people. Okay, so we have definitely taken a look at this one. I love doing these blank charts because anytime we've evaluated something... Now, again, the last time we evaluated price action, we were somewhere up here, okay? We were somewhere up here. We must have done this back in, like, February because these two areas were areas of support. We could have even evaluated it here in March when I had first started doing the live stream. All in the charts. Guys, do you know I've been doing this live stream since March? So I've been doing this, let me see, when did I start doing the live stream? March 28th. Yeah, so there were some things going on in my life around that time. And I was like, you know what? I need to start focusing more on myself. And as selfish as that sounds, if you knew what was going on in my life, you'd probably support me in that initiative. But I was like, you know what? I need to start focusing more on myself, and really I need to do what I want to do with this channel. So March 28th was the day that I started the live stream. So it has been just over 4 months. We're going to go on 4.5 months soon, which is great. I think especially working full-time like I do to be able to stick with this every single day, I feel proud of that. And the fact that I'm starting to put out more TA videos feels great. But let's get back to the charts here. So this is ticker symbol LCX on Coinbase. Now, obviously, we're below these two lines, so we're going to have to flip them red, from green to red. The first question I really want to ask here when I'm evaluating this chart is, now that we've, maybe I'll move to a higher time frame. Now that we've lost these two areas, where can we expect for a level of support to hold here on the chart? Well, first off, it looks like we've got a double bottom. I want to draw it right there. And the reason I'm drawing it there is you got price hitting here, price hitting here, price hitting here. Looks like it's at about 4.4 cents. 4.4 cents. Okay. So I really want 4.4 cents holds. I really want 4.4 cents to hold. Now, if 4.4 cents does not hold, where could we see price going? I just thought of something. Now that I've finally gotten to the point where I can actually monetize this channel, I'm going to have to go back to this live stream to see what I agreed to in terms of vulgarness. Because, you know, when I'm on the live stream, sometimes I get pretty animated, you know? So I need to make sure that YouTube isn't going to demonetize me because, you know, I drop a few F-bombs here and there. That would really piss me off. It would really piss me off, YouTube, if you're going to demonetize me because I say the word fuck, all right? This would be an area of support. Really, there's a zone. I don't want to get too cute, but what the hell, here we are. So these are the major areas of support. So basically, Kathleen, when I'm evaluating this chart, the first thing I want to ask myself is, now that we've lost previous areas of support and we're starting to drift around here, where do I want to see price level hold? Well, I really want to see 4.4 cents hold. If we lose 4 cents, we could drift all the way down to 3.6 cents, 3.65 cents, okay? If we lose that, we could start drifting into this 3.1 to 3 cent range, okay? Now, on the way up, what levels are we going to come into difficulty with? Well, first off, I would draw a descending, much like this, okay? See how we were in this and then we broke out? Well, now we're sort of in this, okay? And we want to see it further break out. So wouldn't shock me based on how the market is to see some maybe little bounce up and then maybe we lose it and we start to come in here. Or we could hold this level and start to interact in here. But downward area of resistance, Kathleen, and then we need to break that. And then we need to break 7.5 cents followed by 9 cents. And then looks like I got 15 and 18.5 cents. So that is what I am looking at. Yeah, I got to check out that monetization aspect. Guys, I had a pretty busy day today, so I didn't have time to prepare for the live stream. One of the things I want to leave you with, as I see the NASDAQ is up like 0.9%. Oh, if I have time, maybe something, don't tune out just yet. I want to share something with you I think is valuable. If I have time tomorrow, maybe something I will evaluate. You're welcome, Kathleen. Maybe something I will evaluate is I had tweeted out today, and it might be worth having an explanation or a conversation. You know, we're looking at traditional markets having a nice run here, right? And all this ties into crypto because we need traditional markets to do well. And this is the tweet that I sent out earlier this morning when I was sipping my coffee, okay? We are like, now we actually took a look at this during the monthly closes. We're like less than 5%. I think in the case of the Dow Jones, the last time we looked, we're like 3.8% away from all-time highs, guys. I have not looked at the data, okay, and I want to look at the data, but it would shock me. It would shock me, much like the Shockmaster from WCW. It would shock me that in times past, when we have been less than 5% away from new all-time highs in these major indices, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones, it would shock me if it was any less than 95% of the time. At that point, we make a new all-time high in the stock market, in these indices. I just find it hard to believe if we just unequivocally, fairly, unbiasedly, unemotionally evaluate empirical data when we have been less than 5% from all-time highs. How many times have we made a new all-time high and how many times have we rolled over? Now, the reason I say this is because you can read the tweet here. There are still, to use my mother's terminology, dickwads on YouTube, and I'm not going to name names, but you can clearly find them, and some of them are prominent. There are still dickwads that are spelling fear about an imminent collapse in the stock market and an imminent collapse in Bitcoin. I saw one that I tweeted out this weekend about Bitcoin going to 15,000. Guys, you just use me as a resource. I'm not here to tell you what's going to happen. I'm just here to tell you how I read things based on my education and knowledge. But I think there's a whole lot of garbaggio being spat out in the market right now. Do you want to know why that is? We are in the phase of the cycle that is called disbelief. This is where bears are in complete disbelief that we're actually in a bull market, a bull run, okay? And they can't acknowledge it, and they're doubling down, and they still feel things are going to roll over. And then you have bulls. What I would say about bulls, even some bulls maybe that are becoming very complacent. But the general sense in the market is there's just disbelief right now. This can't be. We've had so much downturn in the market. This, especially when you consider the context of this correction that we've spent great lengths talking about. If this correction turns out to be correct, this is an A, a B, which goes higher than here, a C correction. This is fucking brutal. This felt brutal. I've spoken about this before, and I'll bring it up right now just to re-illustrate. I saw my portfolio paper gain-wise go from Lambos to Geo Metros, okay? It was brutal because I did not see this correction coming, and the market handed my ass to itself, okay? Live and learn. What I'm saying is, after that brutal of a correction, so many people are in disbelief during this entire rally. During this entire time, they said we were going to 5,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin. Now up here, they're calling for 15,000 and lower and an imminent collapse in the market. This is what I believe will happen. We will have to see. The point is we are less than 5% away from making new all-time highs on these major indices, ladies and gentlemen. We will take a fair and honest look at that this week. Whether it's tomorrow or later in the week, we will look at that. There was one other key point that I wanted to hit on. Oh, yes. The people who are the doomsdayers, the people who are calling for the imminent collapse of the stock market and crypto, the other thing that you will find is they will never acknowledge that they are incorrect. What will happen is there will be a massive correction in the stock market. Now, you know, my view is that this is not going to happen until next year. So there will be a massive correction that will take place in Bitcoin, crypto, the stock market. That'll be in 2024. It'll go into 2025. And then they're going to acknowledge that, yes, you know, timing isn't perfect. I saw this coming. This is what I was talking about. All the meanwhile, what they're unwilling to acknowledge is they missed all of this price action. All of this, from Bitcoin going to 15 all the way up to 100,000 plus, they missed all of that. They literally missed this entire fucking move. But what they're willing to say is, oh, well, you know, I mean, you can't get the timing right, and now we're starting to see a correction. Yeah. Guys, do your own education and research, but there isn't, again, the way everything is set up right now, it just makes too much sense for there not to be increased momentum to the upside, okay? Whether we top this year or next year, I'm starting to lean more towards next year for Bitcoin. It's irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. The point is there's just too many bullish factors going on in so many charts that we evaluate and reevaluate on this chart constantly, okay? As things begin to turn bearish, and someone asked me about this. I saw that track, by the way. PayPal is evil. Deactivated my account a while ago when all that shit took place several months ago. I will plan on putting out a video in terms of, I'm going to try to put together a handful, five things I'm looking for confirmation that we've likely topped, and then, you know, as you know, how I plan to scale out. Okay, I'm just going to give you my strategy in terms of how I plan to play things, because that's very important. You can watch your portfolio go up in value monumentally, but if you don't cash out, it doesn't mean a damn thing. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Make sure that if you haven't already, drop me a comment, hit the thumbs up. You have to click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday. I will be back here tomorrow. I'll be back here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Until next time, everyone, spread awareness, and let's all carry the education forward. Take care and have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Cheers, everybody.